I was almost catfished. Welcome to JLJ After Dark. We're going to talk about it. JLJ Media. So I just reopened a couple of the apps that I used to be on, that I used to was. One of them is Tinder. I haven't been on there in a long time. I had to, and here's, I'm gonna give you some tips too. So for you, if you're on Tinder or whatever, to look things to look out for. I've been on apps off and on for years now, so I know the telltale. My gut just tells me things. And so you swipe in left and right. Sometimes you always catch, and it is true. Sometimes you'll swipe wrong, the wrong person, or you just, or whatever. But one of the things sometimes I did forget, because I'm out of practice, it's been a couple of years I've been on there. I'm out of practice. I matched with someone, but when I swiped with them, here's some tip number one for you. If their photo isn't verified, if it doesn't say their location, you also just say lives in Los Angeles or 20 miles away or whatever. Also, they say the location, and you see it says 800,000 miles away or 8,000 miles away or 500 miles away, chances are they're fake. This person didn't have their mileage, but they said they lived in Los Angeles in their description, not in the thing. And I also noticed there was no verification of their photo. But I didn't even look at that. Thought the person was good looking. They said they were a pilot. And so we started texting, started messaging first. I'm not going to give up too many personal details. I don't know if they're true or not, but at first I was fine. I was like, oh, this person seems very nice. We're talking back and forth. They were from another country, except they said they lived in America for 10 years and that they were with this particular airline. Um, they just made it here and they were in LA for 3 months, based out of LA for 3 months before see what happens. All kinds of stuff. So I was like, okay, so far, I'm doing good. I'm like, okay, that's all sounds legit. Um, we're talking, and I'm like, okay, conversation's going pretty fine. A couple times, I'm like, it could be a language barrier here and there a little bit, but like nothing, no red flag for me. This person was like me, we're like, okay, we're connecting, okay. It says, can we switch? They used the words, can we talk? He said without distraction. I thought I was like, it must be a um I was thinking it must be some kind of language thing. But they said, "Oh, can we exchange phone numbers and text?" Not sometimes I'm like, no, not yet. But I was like, no, I'll do it. It's okay. So we exchanged phone numbers. This person gives me their first and last name, tells me their date of birth. I was like, okay, kind of funny during the conversation. So I naturally looked it up. Can't find that name anywhere on any social media platforms, but that doesn't mean anything either. First, I'm like, no, that makes social media. You can look up pilots. You look them up. And somehow we were talking, I couldn't find him. They told me the airline, or they did not see that person on the list. Like something's just awesome. Like my gut. And they kept saying dear. Hey dear. I noticed in the past that's either a bot or that's a phony, but it's a scammer. That no one talks like that. No, they don't say dear. I guess it's something like, "Oh, you're so cute," or "Hi, cutie." You don't go, "Hi, dear." That's another sign for you that that's usually a scam too. They don't say dear. That's a guy. They don't say dear. That's a weird thing. But I wasn't sure. But my brain kept going. We had a long texting session, getting to know each other. I didn't give too much information. I never get too much information. I'm just like, hey, I have two businesses, and this is kind of what I do. I downplayed the media side because I'm like, I don't want them to try to find me on social media. I did most of my organizing stuff. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, what do you do? And they're talking. Now they claimed to me they lived in Los Angeles. And I'm like, well, you too. I said we should. I go, I remember ending the conversation. We had a great talk. And I go, well, we should meet up sometime for coffee. The person was like, basically like, sure, okay, whatever. So I don't know. I went to bed. I was like, there's something off. My gut is telling me this is going too smooth or something. I don't know what's going on. So I make up a story. This is me, this is James. I'm admitting this to you. I make up a story. I type the next day, I go, oh my God. I have because they said good morning the first thing in the morning. It was too early. And I was like, my God, later. It said good morning. I go, good morning. Oh my God, I have a story for you. And I said, I met up with somebody for coffee, and it turns out they lied. They weren't the person in the pictures, and I couldn't believe it. And isn't that crazy when someone's people still do that? They still catfish. Like it's really weird. And they're like, yeah, they should have lied to you. And that's like that's not right. And I'm sorry it happened to you. I go, yeah, I know. I'm like, it's just so crazy. And I said that they try to play it off like they were lonely and they just wanted to meet somebody. And I'm like, but how could you? I mean, I said I don't do liars. I just can't do that. It's just like that's just not just a deal breaker. You lied to me, so there's just like you using somebody else's stuff. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it was crazy. I was so sorry. Also noticed it took them a while to get back to me in a text. So it's almost like they're using Google Translation because I've done it before myself with certain people back in the day. And sort of sentences to make sense. But that again, the sentences are not a red flag because some people can't write, have grammar issues. But it's this. It was all. I was like, yeah, just, we're texting. So I go, okay. I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to believe you that you are who you are in the pictures and that you are a pilot. LOL. I wrote that. They wrote back, you don't trust me? Or you don't trust me? Or do you have trust issues? And I wrote back, well, I don't know you yet. I said, we're getting to know each other. I said, no, I don't think anybody's a liar, but trust has to be earned. Well, then he stopped texting me. Okay. All of a sudden, back on the app, they're messaging me there. Hi. I go, I'm just kind of confused. Like, so I wrote, hello. This is kind of funny. We're texting and you're messaging me here. And the person's like, why? What's so funny? I said, just we're texting. So why are we on here talking? And they're like, oh, I can tell you. And oh no, I got rid of it. I blocked them and got rid of it. They were like, does it make you feel uncomfortable that I'm texting you, that I'm messaging you here? I go, no, I never said uncomfortable. I just said it's weird because we're already talking. And then they wrote, I want to talk. Can we talk somewhere more without interruption or something? I'm like, well, we're texting. There's no interruption. And then they're like, do you have Telegram? I said, oh, there we go. So folks, here's a red flag too. If the person's lying to you, if they say you have WhatsApp or Telegram, that means they're not here in the country, or they're from somewhere else. Because you get on those, and you don't get charged for talking, for texting and stuff. And so that means they're not that. I'm like, I guess he could be living in LA or whatever. I don't know, but I'm like, I said, no, I'm not getting Telegram. He goes, just download the app and let's talk about it. I said, no, we're already talking on text. And the text number they had was a number from another state. I recognized the area code. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, come on, just get Telegram and we can. I'm like, I said, okay. I said, you're weird. Leave me alone. And I wrote, okay, dear. Blocked him my phone, everything. I'm like, I think I was trying to be catfished on some level, or not, or at least not being told the truth. So if that was a person in the pictures, and I guess they live in LA, but they maybe their phones from somewhere else, that could be legitimate, I guess. But it's kind of like, why don't you just tell me that? Why don't you just explain to me? Here's the deal. I'm in LA. My phone from somewhere else. It would be cheaper for me to talk to you. Like, just talk to me. Like, just like, tell me what's going on. But I've had this before where I actually followed through, got on WhatsApp, not Telegram, got on WhatsApp, and that person ended up being a Bitcoin trader or wanted to sell me something or started spamming me stuff. And I was like, that's not what I want. Why are you doing this to me? That's not what I want. So I was like, yeah, I was like, no. I said, no, you're weird. I'm just like, it's too weird. It's too weird for me. If that person was telling the truth or whatever, sorry, it just you got caught up in all in my past of catfishers. I've had so many people try to catfish you, try to get you to be a Bitcoin trader. All this. Nope, we're not doing all that. Nope, we're not doing all that. So I was like, I'm out. It's weird. Now the happy news is I actually met someone else on another app, and that person's for real. So, and I'm talking to that person right now. We're just kind of in the talking stages. So I was telling you, it's weird out there because there are a lot of, just like on social media, there are a lot of bots. There are a lot of scammers. So many stories. I was lucky that my gut, and trust your gut, whether you're right or wrong, if your gut's telling you something's off and you don't get any answers or you just can't get it or it doesn't go away, step away. I'm sorry. So I don't have to have somebody that bad. So I'm like, I want somebody. I'm like, I'm not gonna sacrifice whatever. It just felt weird to me. And I always say if something feels weird to you or someone, you guys out there probably have met people where you're just like, I don't know what their deal is, but my body wants to repel from them. Or you meet somebody and you just like them right instantly. You're just like, oh my God. You're just so like, all of a sudden you're just like, I just can't get enough of you. But that can be in friendship too, where you're just like, oh my God, we're besties. And oh my God. I think we've all been through where we've met people where it's just like, nope, I'm good. They haven't even done anything to you yet. You're like, I'm good. And sometimes you'll find out later it was justified. And sometimes you never know. You never find out at all. But I'm good with that. I got friends, I got family, I got people. That's good. I don't need any more. But I'm not going to sacrifice. I mean, I've had stalkers before and like that, so I don't want that again either. I was like, all right, anybody abusive. So I've been to that before too. So I'm just like, if it feels weird and I don't feel comfortable, I said, I'll try to talk it out with you for a little bit, but I'm out. I don't know how you guys do it, how if you guys are daters out there, what you're doing. But there's a lot of weird stuff out there. And there's enough content out there, people talking about their weird stuff that I don't be a statistic. So that's that's my little story for you for this late evening here on JLJ Media. For Yes, you can listen to us. If you're listening to us, hi listeners, like the podcast. Check out JLJ After Dark, of course, all the episodes. JLJ This Evening and JLJ This Morning. I'm James Lott Jr. Talk to you next time.